Okay, now to reiterate, this is a content area. So assignments, syllabus, materials, tests, these are all content areas. And what content areas are is essentially an open sandbox where you can combine any number of individual content items, such as audio, video, or other files. And you can also create folders and folders to group your content any way you want. What we're going to be looking at in this particular video is adding individual pieces of content. So each content area has your content title here, and we can edit this name or delete it. But remember, if you delete the content area, everything inside goes away. So be careful with that. We also have these 4 tabs for building content. Under this main build content tab over here on the left-hand column, we've got these 6 items that allow us to upload an individual object. And even though there are 6 items here, when you actually look at the options they give you, they are essentially the exact same thing. This is a screenshot of all of those 6 types of single items, and they all have something in common. They all have a name that you can choose whatever you want it to be, and you can give that name a color, and they also contain a place for you to choose a file or multiple files to attach to that item. There is also a way to enable the time that students can view the items, so you can choose to time lock them or time restrict them to display after a certain date and until a certain date. And then some of them even have a built-in text editor where you can give them directions or other pieces of information via the Blackboard text editor, with the exception of create file. All that create file gives you is a name, and that's it. So it's not very helpful. So with create video, we do have some unique options where we can choose a resolution for the video to play. We can choose it to auto start, and we can also make it loop and then choose how it aligns with our content if it's going to be within a window. Under web link, we can simply click on the URL so that when you click on the link, it takes you to that website, and we can also describe it. And we can choose whether that link opens in a new window or the current window. And usually you want to have it open in a new window. And then if you create item, it is just like creating a file, except we have the additional ability to actually describe in this text editor what it is this item is for. So why are we including this item as part of our package of content? And then for image, we can choose a custom dimension and a border. And then for audio, just like video, you can choose it to auto start or to loop. And it has a special button here for including a transcript. But again, you could do the same thing with creating an item by embedding a YouTube video and then just attaching your transcript as a separate file right here under the attachments section, number 2. You could also attach an individual video file if you don't want to use YouTube or some other party. And then you can also attach a second file, which would be your transcript. So once you understand how the text editor works, and you know how to link to different websites, essentially this create item can replace all of these other types of content. And you can just use this single item for pretty much any individual piece of content you want to upload. Now this example will kind of look at what an item would look like if it's replacing any of the previous 5 types. So we have our content name, in this case example item. We're going to leave its color to black. And in our text editor, we're going to go ahead and edit some of this text that describes what this overall item is for. So we have our example image, video, and then a web link. To make a web link, all you have to do is select or click where the link should start, and then left click and drag over the text that should create the overall hyperlink. And once you have your text selected, this button right here is the hyperlink icon. Go ahead and click on that. once we do, we have this new window, and we basically tell the button, okay, what is the website we're going to be linking to? In this case, we're not going to be choosing a course, we're going to be, or a course link, or course item. We're going to go to a website, in this case, google.com. And for target, you want to always open in a new window. That way the student still has the current Blackboard window open in the background. So target, open a new window, and then go ahead and click on accept or update, or whatever you see. And now we have our hyperlink right here. Under attachments, I've got multiple attachments. We have a video as an MP4. We have a PNG image, a JPEG image, and then an MP3 audio file. And what you can do at this point is you basically click on this Browse My Computer, and you add each file individually. And then standard options, permit users to view content, sure why not, and then go ahead and hit Submit. Now if you have a really long or large file, be it a video file or an audio file, or your internet is really bad, when you hit Submit, your page might hang as these files upload, because Blackboard does not have a method of telling you how your upload is doing. So you kind of just have to wait until this page updates and you then see your item listed here. Now if I can go into any of these items by clicking on the little circle here off to the right of a link, and I can click that and I can edit the file name, and I can also upload a new file, so I can replace this file if I need to. And also there's a URL I can give people if they want to access the file without having to log into your Blackboard shell, which can also be pretty useful. So this is a item, so I went to build content, item, and I used the text editor and made a hyperlink, and I added all kinds of content just to show you how this will contrast with adding these different kinds of files individually. And actually I forgot to do something, so I'm going to go over to my overall item right here, the title, go ahead and edit it, and in my text editor I'm going to go ahead and do a new line and actually embed a picture right into the board here. And that picture is going to be this guy right here. So I'm inserting it. So we have this image here of a kayak trip we did over here in Valdez. So we have that guy, go ahead and hit submit. And now our content item looks like this. So we have our picture, we have our hyperlink, and we have our different types of files. And now in contrast, if we scroll down, I've actually uploaded each of these different individual content types. So here's our item. So our item, again, allows you to have a name. You can attach multiple files, and you also have a text editor. And that text editor allows you to hyperlink and also insert images. Below that, we have just a file. And so for a file, all you see is the name of the file. And so students have to actually click on it to open it in their browser. For audio content, we have our little audio window. And as you can see, we are trying to use the QuickTime plugin. And if we go to Chrome, Chrome doesn't like it. And so we're going to have to use this download link right here. And then here's our optional transcript file right there. So this is what an audio link would look like or not look like depending on your browser. We're going to go ahead and activate QuickTime, allow me to remember. And if it updates, we have a little QuickTime window. And it's going to load the audio file in the background. So if you're on a low bandwidth connection, this can really suck, because as we are loading all of these other materials and content, this audio file is also loading in the background, and that can slow down the loading time of your entire page. So do be aware of that. especially if the autoplay option is turned on. Same for the video link down here. So once we enable QuickTime, there's our little video window, and then of course a link to download the video directly if they want to. And then here we have an image as content. So we have this whole image taking up, my screen, and then a description of what the image is for. And then our web link example. So to go to this website, just click on the title right here and we'll go to a new website. And then we have an optional file attached at the bottom, and then some description about what this link is for and what you would do when you click on it, if anything. So again, there are advantages to having each of these pieces of content as an individual file upload. But at the same time, as you can see here, this item format is much more streamlined, and you can essentially present everything the exact same way once you really master the text editor and its various format buttons. Now, I should note that the video screen also preloads in the background here, even with auto loop turned off or auto play turned off. So if you're going to have a whole bunch of video and audio files in a list, do not upload them as individual content files, because they are going to just sit there loading all at the same time. And something like this would be a much better format, where you just have the direct download link, and it's up to them to click a file and download them individually. So there's no preloading involved. So that's just do be aware of that issue when you are trying to upload individual audio or video content types utilizing the build content and then audio or video links here in the create menu option here. The other thing to remember is that as you upload files and images and everything else for your course, they do get saved in the background within your course shell's file manager. To access your file manager and view these pictures to insert them elsewhere or to delete them if you're backing up your course, you're going to go to your lower half of your menu under Control Panel, and then under the Files tab here, click on Files, and at the very top above your search bar, you're going to have your course link right here. Click on your course link, and that will take you to a Files page where you have all the files that you've ever uploaded for your course, all in one convenient area for you to examine if you have to. And then last but definitely not least, if we go back to our content area where we have the different examples of content, the difference between when you build content, you also have the option of doing a new blank page. What a blank page does is we have the same options as we do for making an item. The difference is that what would happen in this case is when we go ahead and save our blank page, as opposed to having our item where all of the contents of the item are displayed for you all at once within that item location, a blank page would have a link to the page which we would then click on, and then on that new page we would then see our list of all of the stuff on that page. So if you have an item with tons of stuff on it, and it's going to appear with a bunch of other items, like we have right here, you're probably better off uploading that not as an item, but as a blank page instead. They both do the exact same thing, but their presentation is different. So item appears all at once wherever that item is located. Blank page would be a link to the item, which when you click on would then take you to that page with all of your stuff on it.